It's a long walk to face the wrath of American justice for Nicolas Maduro and his wife Celia.
Conducted an extraordinary military operation in the capital of Venezuela. Overwhelming American military power, air, land, and sea, was used to launch a spectacular assault.
The Americans cut the power to the Venezuelan capital before explosions shook Caracas.
Venezuela's capital has come under attack overnight.
To bring outlaw dictator Nicolas Maduro to justice.
No es una tensión, es una agresión en toda la línea.
He told the judge he had been kidnapped.
You wrapped up state affairs in the northern part of your country while embracing the start of a new year, unaware of the secret eyes watching your every move while you eat, sleep, and go to and fro. Like any other night in your rainforest steel fortress, you head back home with your first lady to enjoy a lovely evening of reflection and maybe some affection. Hours later, after the Eagles were given the go-ahead, you woke up as the main character in a new 2-hour mission called Operation Absolute Resolve. Smoke, explosions, more than 150 aircrafts, including bombers, fighter jets, and Renaissance planes were deployed through the course of the night to surround you from land, air, and sea. It is now evident you're being captured by the US military fully clothed in a Nike sweatsuit. And yes, that was an important detail because I heard that sweatsuit sold out in like 10 minutes after it was launched. This was the scene Nicolas Maduro, Venezuela's president, found himself in on January 3, 2026. Now, shortly after 2 a.m. in the morning, news broke of several explosions in Caracas, the country's capital. These attacks primarily struck military installations, and eyewitnesses have reported that military airfield in the center of the city and a main military base were affected.
You gotta surrender. And I actually thought he was pretty close to doing so, but now he wished he did, yeah.
When the news broke, BBC was already linking the event to mounting tensions that's been building between the United States and Venezuela. The US's position is that Maduro was illegitimately elected and involved in a drug smuggling through the country and had even begun making continuous strikes on speedboats in the Caribbean, allegedly carrying drugs and killing more than 100 people. Maduro had recently publicly stated that he was open to having talks with President Trump wherever and whenever they want. Now, I doubt this was the type of talk Maduro wanted to happen, but it wasn't long after that confirmation of the US's invasion became apparent and Maduro declared a national emergency, denouncing the attacks as an attempt by the US to take his country's oils and minerals. Following this declaration, Maduro also ordered all national defense plans to be implemented at the appropriate time and under the appropriate circumstances. In other words, get ready to fight, but not until I say so. Now, flying over a country and destroying military property is one thing, but flying over a country, destroying military property, and arresting its sitting president was not what most of us had expected at the start of this year. This is probably one of the most high-level arrests our generation has ever seen, costing the lives of approximately 83 Venezuelans, 50 of which were soldiers. President Maduro was arrested shortly after, blindfolded, handcuffed, and with his ears covered. Like, my man could only smell and feel his way through that arrest. And his wife Cecilia Flores was also arrested with him, with both being accused of running a corrupt government fueled by drug trafficking operations that inject cocaine into the US. And this is what President Trump had to say in a press conference shortly afterwards about how he felt about the whole thing.
And it was an assault like people have not seen since World War II. This was one of the most stunning, effective and powerful displays of American military might and competence
The couple was indicted in the Southern District of New York to face their charges in court, while back in Venezuela, the defense minister Vladimir Padmino Lopez deployed armed forces across the country. The man is called Vladimir, guys, so you know he literally has to be like the most serious person in the world, because come on. It's reported that he addressed the nation declaring, and quote, "They've attacked us, but they will not subdue us." Meanwhile, back in the US, Secretary of State Marco Rubio clarified that the US anticipates no further action in Venezuela, all while making it crystal clear that Maduro is, quote, "not the president of Venezuela, but rather a fugitive of American justice." U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi said the couple is being charged for narco-terrorism conspiracy, cocaine importation conspiracy, possession of machine guns and destructive devices, and conspiracy to possess machine guns and destructive devices against the United States. That was honestly a mouthful. She said the operation took months of planning and coordination with the help of a CIA source which was inside the Venezuelan government. This is like real top-level spy stuff, guys. According to Trump, 97% of the drugs entering the country by sea originate from Venezuela and cause the death of hundreds and possibly thousands of Americans. So going forward, Trump states that the US will run the country until a proper and judicious transition of leadership takes place. Let's dive into the aftermath of this attack.
Venezuela's capital has come under attack overnight.
Now, although the attack rained terror with the likes of bombs damaging military property and reportedly personal homes, hundreds of Venezuelans took to the streets celebrating what they described to be a redemption after 10 years of living under an alleged dictator. While the people continued their celebrations, though, government officials were working assiduously to scramble the pieces. The country's high court named the Vice President Delcy Rodriguez interim leader to guarantee administrative continuity and the complete defense of the nation. But the opposition leader, who also happened to be the 2025 Nobel Prize winner Maria Machado, has actually welcomed Maduro's arrest. Here's what BBC reported about Machado's position on the matter. The opposition leader of Venezuela and Nobel Prize winner Maria Corina Machado has welcomed the US intervention, saying the country's hour of freedom has arrived. She said on social media that President Maduro was removed from power after refusing a negotiated exit, and the opposition's candidate for the 2024 elections, Edmundo Gonzalez, should now assume the presidency. Machado has since presented President Trump with her Nobel Prize award. As for neighboring countries, Colombia held a National Security Council meeting where President Gustavo Petro announced the deployment of public forces along the Venezuelan border. This is because they anticipate a possible influx of refugees following the US attack. The Chilean President Gabriel Boric and Cuban President Miguel Diaz-Canel both publicly condemned the attack as well. And since we're on the topic of other countries, no guys, this time Britain had nothing to do with it, and they made sure to tell us before we even asked. Now, some of us might not realize it, but Maduro's arrest has been a long time coming. It all started back in 2013 when Maduro became president. Can you believe that before he entered politics, he was actually a bus driver? I know. Like, I guess people thought that he was a people's person, you know? At the time, Maduro served as the vice president for Hugo Chavez, who passed away, but not before urging his supporters to appoint Maduro as president if he didn't beat his illness at the time. That year, Maduro narrowly won the election with a margin of 1.6%. This is actually the closest election history that Venezuela has ever had. As time progressed, though, ABC News reports that Maduro declared victory again in 2018, but the country's National Assembly said in 2019 that he usurped power. This caused more than 50 countries, including the US, to not recognize him as the legitimate leader of Venezuela. By the time we get to 2020, BBC states that the United States declared charges for Maduro and 14 members of his inner circle for narco-terrorism, drug trafficking, money laundering, and corruption. The US also offered a $15 million reward for information leading to his arrest. That reward grew to US $50 million in August of 2025, just before the US began striking what they described to be drug smuggling boats between September and December. You can see how the tensions began mounting over time. Ultimately, it led to where we are today. By October 2025, Trump authorized the CIA to begin its covert operations in Venezuela, and now in January 2026, Maduro is in federal custody. Both Maduro and his wife are being held at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn after pleading not guilty to all charges. Their legal representative is Barry J. Pollack, a seasoned trial lawyer known for finding innovative ways to defend his clients. Maduro's next court date is March 13 of this year. Well, what do we think? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. To get rid of what they believe was an authoritarian, I can't call the word. Yeah man, so we're gonna leave that section alone because I'm not doing that to myself on the internet. Moving on.